So the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal resumed yesterday, and it was finally INEC's turn to defend themselves against Peter Obi. So they brought out their very first witness to court, but unfortunately for them, it turned out to be a big disaster. Now, I don't really blame him for his bad performance yesterday, because if you can defend this election and the results, you can defend anything. You can defend against Man City. Now, the witness in question was INEC's Deputy Director for ICT. So you would think that he would have some answers for us, being that the major issues with this election kind of emanated from his department. And by major issues in this election, I mean the technical glitch that cannot be explained. But instead of this man coming and explaining to us what happened and even trying to defend INEC for what happened, he came and contradicted himself so much on the stand that at some point the Labour Party lawyer, that's Peter Obi's lawyer, started making fun of him for being a pastor. But there's a very special game, there's a trick that the Labour Party lawyer played on this INEC's witness, and many people are not talking about it, but I noticed it and I want to talk about it right now.
Obi King to ease no eye, coming out with the music to ease your mind.
Hi guys, it's Obi King once again in the house with another video for you guys. Now, it hasn't been a very good couple of days for INEC. First, the European Union submitted a 92-page report that was so damning against INEC that I had goosebumps while reading it. I'm thinking of doing a breakdown of that report, so let me know in the comments if you want me to do that. This EU report on the election was so bad that even the presidency had to release a statement against it. And even worse for INEC, that document has now been tendered as evidence in PDP's case against INEC.
The European Union Observation Mission, their final report was today tendered and admitted in evidence by the court. And you see that the witness who came from INEC, a director from INEC, read out the findings in that report, which clearly stated that that election fell below expectation, and that only 31% of what was reported was mathematically accurate.
That's really not good for INEC. So I had really been looking forward to INEC's defense, because in the news, INEC kept giving this impression that the election was perfect, that it had no issue, they did everything the right way except for this small glitch. So this time around, I was expecting them to come and defend themselves in court, give a good showing, but instead they kind of made it into a comedy show. Now, this particular court sitting started out with the INEC lawyer presenting the witness statement and some documents to the court. And of course, I'd like to thank Sarah Ibrahim, from whom I got a lot of the details from the court proceeding. Now, when it was time to examine the deputy director, when it was time to examine this witness, INEC and APC asked some very leading questions at the beginning, and I was kind of shocked that the Labour Party Council was not objecting to the questions they were asking. Like, take a look at some of these questions. They started asking him things like, assuming IREV have blood documents, they won't affect the physical results of Form EC8A, which are not blood. Am I right? The witness said yes. The images of Form EC8A uploaded to IREV are not relevant for results collations. Am I right? Yes, you are right. Are you aware of the celebrated e-Naira of President Buhari? Yes, I'm aware. The e-Naira could not function or work, I guess, due to technological issues. Am I right? And the witness states you are right. So basically, the witness was not giving any explanations of his own, and the INEC lawyer was just leading him and he was following. So when it was time for Labour Party to cross-examine this witness, the Labour Party lawyer, Jisan Ikweto, did not have any mercy on him, and it was so delightful to watch. I mean, this cross-examination was so bad that the witness started contradicting himself from the very first question he was asked. Now, this Labour Party lawyer asked, your app on e-transmission was tested before it was used? The witness said yes. The testing was done between 3rd and 6th of February 2023. The witness said no. So at this point, the Labour Party lawyer, that's Ikweto, started laughing. So when was it? It it was 4th February. It's just a very needless contradiction. Like, now this is when things started getting very interesting, because this report on the testing that he asked, the opposition did not know that the Labour Party lawyer brought this very same report to the court. So he was able to submit it and tender it as evidence. And this is where the Labour Party lawyer's clever game started, because as it turns out, the deputy director could not defend the results of his own reports, and he will now go on to start contradicting himself for the rest of the questioning. So now the Labour Party lawyer, San Ikweto, started questioning him on this report. Ikweto said, "Does this document show the findings?" The witness said, "It says findings." And after shutting down the INEC lawyer, Ikweto asked again, "So it shows findings resolved?" The witness said, "Yes." "You're a senior pastor in your church?" Witness, "Yes." "It shows the risk level." The witness said, "It is resolved." "But it shows it was high risk." The witness said, "It was resolved." "So the e-transmission was not vulnerable?" The witness answered, "Yes, it was resolved." So where the contradiction comes in now is that where the INEC and APC lawyers were trying to establish that there is a very high possibility for errors in transmission. Like at some point, the INEC lawyer was even talking about the fall of e-naira. It was due to technological errors. So early on, you are trying to establish that errors are common and they could have easily affected the election results. Now, this time around, because his own report is on the line, the witness had to start defending against the high likelihood of error, just so that his own name will be in the clear. And this was very bad for our next case. The snapped copy of EC8A on IREV and the hard copy EC8A can never be different. The witness said anything can happen while you're uploading. So it would change, and the witness said it won't change. So a lot of the deputy director's testimony ended up making no sense. And it was so bad that the INEC lawyer had to ask, "This is unfair, you're intimidating him." The Labour Party lawyer then got him to inspect one of the blood results that was submitted on IREV, to which he even confirmed that it was different, or it looked different from the original results posted to that same location. And then finally, the Labour Party lawyer questioned INEC's ability to store their own archives. "You are aware that INEC materials are archived?" The witness said, "Which one?" "Your materials, press statement and all." "Not all." That's what the witness said. Ikweto then says, "Oh, not all. Okay." At this point, APC then cut off the examination for obvious reason, because their witness was getting cooked and the time for examination was indeed over. And surprisingly to everybody, after this show of shame by the INEC witness, INEC would then go on to close their case, meaning that this man that just contradicted himself throughout would be the only witness that they will be presenting for their defense. I would have said I was shocked, but in a previous video, I had already surmised that INEC will have no defense against this whole thing. But for INEC to present only one witness for their defense with all the allegations against them from both political parties and even now the EU and even the public, that they brought only one witness for their defense, like that's like an admission of failure. INEC keeps coming out to say that they conducted a perfect election and nothing was wrong with it, because obviously for some reason they are trying to defend the emergence of Tinubu for some reason. But at the same time of claiming that there was nothing wrong with the election, you are claiming that there was a technical glitch that affected the most important election, and you can't explain what this glitch was. Like you didn't even do any investigation into this so-called glitch, and you didn't even report on it on the day. Like you are not transparent about it on the day that it happened. Well, I really don't see how the judge would rule in favor of INEC with such a shoddy defense. Like, okay, even if they want to say they are going to use a technicality, it has to be based on what INEC defended themselves with. And if this is the only defense that they could present, well, I think it's safe to say that they are screwed. Up next is APC's defense. Today, APC is going to start their own defense against Labour Party and the PDP, and I am so looking forward to that one as well. And this obviously is going to be a very interesting week for the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, and I'm going to be here for all of it. I'm here for all the drama. I'm here for that drama. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. It's been a pleasure. Do like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.